Rest in fucking peace,
Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Let's get straight to it.
I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear. I killed you. So it's not like the thought of her is gone by itself was something that she did. It was something that I decided to do. And I killed her in the back of my mind. But it's really more of a figurative I killed you, especially in the back of my mind. I try to stress that in the back of my mind. That's why I say it so loud. In the back of my mind, you died. In the back of my mind, I killed you. So it's all in the mind because that's the most secure place you can be is in your mind. So if you can expel that thought from your mind, then everything else will just come together.
Good morning, Jess. That 15-year-old has been identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, but she was reported missing in April of last year, last seen in Lake Elsinore, and we have reached out to the family for more information. But according to TMZ, her body was found in a car registered to the popular singer David. The 20-year-old is currently on tour, and according to social media posts, he performed in Seattle last night. David has millions of followers on social media and is known for the songs Romantic Homicide and Here With Me. Now, once again, we are hearing from TMZ. They reported this Tesla is registered to David Anthony Burke, David's full name, and it's believed the car was originally abandoned in the Hollywood Hills near the intersection of Doheny and Bluebird, according to residents. And it may have been there for some time. A resident saying it was damaged and dusty. It was then taken to Hollywood Tow, and video shows that black Tesla surrounded by detectives at the tow yard last week. Now, this was September 8th. Now, this after employees reported a foul odor coming from the car. Once on scene, investigators found the body of a female that we now know has been identified as the 15-year-old. That body was found in the front trunk. According to the medical examiner, she was about 5'2", 71 pounds, and had dark, wavy hair with a distinctive tattoo on her right index finger. We are told the 15-year-old's cause of death has not been determined.
So not only do you have a matching tattoo with her, you also made a song about her? Yeah, nah, bruh. They're sending your ass to Azkaban. I'm sorry. I can't do shit about that. Hello? Oh, they have pictures together? Oh, okay. Yeah, man, you're fucking done, bro. You're cooked. Check the album cover for Here With Me? Okay. Yeah, bro, I hope your ass is ready for jail.
So David has canceled all of his tour dates. This comes after the house that he was living in and renting from got raided. Also, more information that Celeste was found in pieces in this Tesla. We're talking like a head, a torso, maybe not even all of the limbs. At this point, we don't know how long her remains were in that Tesla. We don't know how long she's actually been passed. What is super odd, especially now after all of these photos and live streams have leaked of them allegedly together, is that as soon as her remains were found, he was clearly notified, working with the authorities, and still on tour. Didn't cancel, didn't try to come home, didn't try to address this until he absolutely had to. And by had to, we're talking about the home that he was staying in getting raided by authorities. These are more of the photos in the background with the female that appears to have likeness to Celeste. Remember, there's also this account that they have the matching tattoo. That would be like the one right here on his first finger. And on my video yesterday, I told you guys that Celeste's brother verified that these two had a relationship. And let's also remember she was 13 when they got into this alleged relationship.
Good to hear that the cops stepped in. Cause yo, this right here is one of the creepiest homicides I've heard of in a long time. Shout out to our detective author. I really think it's the big BS.
Watch out! Watch out!
No se engañen de cuentas falsas y yo no estoy vendiendo nada, yo no estoy cobrando nada, así que no se engañen de la gente. Solamente me pone triste cuando quieren decir como que es el dueño del video o quieren bloquearlo. No permitan eso ustedes, no se engañen. Me pueden escribir y yo les contesto. Querían verlo. Ha crecido bastante. A muchos les gusta, a otros les aterra.
Has Venom been trying to escape the freezer? 2 cement blocks on top, the black streak going up the side of the freezer. That shirt he's wearing is very interesting as well. Shout out to Kim Panama.
The National Archives has just released a video on the Roswell crash site. Check this out. So when this took place in 1947, this crash was supposed to be from a weather balloon, right? Does this look like a weather balloon crash site to you? And there's like some strange boat-like structure here. Not entirely sure what that is. But to me, this doesn't look like a weather balloon impact crater, man. It looks like something heavy has crashed. So they tried to tell us that a weather balloon, this tinfoil mess, created an impact crater. The state of that. The maths ain't mathing, man. I mean, come on, mate. Seriously. So this is an alleged leaked photo from the Roswell crash of some humanoid figures around the base. So if this is real, right, this would be more so the reference of what we've just seen. This kind of looks a little bit like the boat-shaped object in the crater. Like that image of the humanoids around the little boat-shaped thing looks like that in the background. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to leave all the information in the description down below. You guys can check out the National Archives yourself and browse through what this kind of crazy situation is that's unfolding.
I believe this is where they get the term tinfoil hats, especially if you believe that. Shout outs to Interstellar Discussion. Nah, the math ain't mathing at all.
Today is September 18th, and I have another message from the aliens. Yesterday, I did a live channeling session on YouTube with Gaia and Lilith. They told us a bit more about the alien plant growing in Panama. They also explained that this is a good example of what we can expect more of as we transition to New Earth. In this clip I'm about to share, you're going to see me using dowsing rods. The rods will cross in front or touch my neck to show us yes, and then open wide to mean no. Here is the clip. This plant has been sent to Earth before, just like cannabis and sacred mushrooms were sent to Earth. It was sent to us as a gift. It was sent from another planet. It is sentient. When they say sentient, they mean it has consciousness. It's not toxic and it's not invasive. There's nothing to worry about. Was the object itself the seed? Yes. So that was the seed. And then when it was exposed to sunlight, it sprouted. Okay, so the plant that we see today, the plant that is in the freezer, that's essentially the root system. That's what should be in the soil. Like that should be underground. So what we're seeing is the roots. What we're waiting for is the plant. It might not have the opportunity to grow properly, is what they're saying. But if it did, it would go downwards into the ground for some amount of time, and it would go upwards into its actual plant. They hope they get to the point of teaching us how to use this plant, but what's relevant now is just that it's similar to cannabis in many ways. Let's just check into the well-being of this plant. Is it safe in the freezer? No. That's not a healthy place for the plant to be. No. So the best thing for the plant would be in soil, in the sun. Yes. We are in this transition time. We are shifting from old Earth to New Earth. And as we transition to New Earth, there's going to be some things that are expected and obvious, like motherships in the sky. As we move into New Earth, there's going to be people who don't resonate with you or resonate with New Earth. Sometimes it's going to look like drama and saying things that you've been holding in for decades. There's going to be some things that are surprising. Sometimes it looks like friends. They just fade away. Also going to sometimes look like death. Sometimes literally things that look like meteorites falling from the sky that end up growing a plant. So that's just a little clip of what Gaia and Lilith shared with us yesterday on YouTube. Now today, I felt really concerned about the alien plant, so I checked in with Gaia about it. Sadly, she did tell me that the plant is really not doing well, and the man who found it is also struggling. So Gaia says the plant It's still alive as I'm recording this, but it's probably not going to last much longer without sunlight. But regardless of what happens with the plant, the aliens want us to know that all of these discoveries are related. The UAP sightings, Three-Eye Atlas, crop circles, orbs in the sky. These are all examples of the aliens showing us that they are here. And very soon, the motherships will be visible in the sky too. I'll be back again the next time they give me another message from the aliens.
So wait, you could smoke this shit? Shout outs to Emily Eaton, Divine Magic, using a Roz to speak with Gaia and Lilith. Yo, what's crazy is, I think that might be his intentions, to plant it. And on top of that, I think he might plant it on the mountaintop, where that would get a lot of sun, if he decides to plant it. Maybe it's talking to his mind. Maybe he hears it, like Brock could hear Venom. They would have conversations between the two of each other. Make sure y'all go follow her on YouTube. It's actually getting bigger in that freezer. It's gotten bigger, most definitely. None of this was on my bingo card for 2025. So, I'm wading through the waters with you, for sure. These waters are getting murky.
Have an absolutely strange sighting coming from Iraq once again of the fabled jetpack man, the witch, or the jellyfish UFO that gets seen all over the world, and more so in Iraq. This basically happened a few days ago in Mosul, Iraq, right? Of this strange object that's floating through the skies, right? Making no noise, not interactive with anything, just kind of moving along its way. And as you can see, the plants in the background, the wind is blowing in the opposite direction of this way, and this object is floating along the same linear plane going the opposite direction, and it's not bobbing up and down, it's not being affected by the wind, it's constant. Now, I've got a compilation for you, okay, of the same similar objects that have been spotted over the years. Now, there was one that happened in Saladin in Iraq as well, at the beginning of this year, which was absolutely just strange, and it kind of sent the internet into emotional turmoil, to say the least, right? Again, here we go. The same exact thing, not affected by the surrounding, just kind of floating along. And it kind of begs the question, are these more so some type of interdimensional encounter where, you know, the veil's kind of thinning and people are witnessing these objects come in that don't really make sense because our brain can't quite perceive them? And also there's another sighting just like this one that happened in Mexico in 2006, and they referred to that one as the witch, right? A paranormal encounter, which is this one. Now, going back through history, in 2003 I think there was a video of an apparent Gilgamesh that was found, the Sumerian king in Uruk, and people tried to relate that a lot of these sightings may be to do with some of the powers that still reside there. So I don't know, mate, what do you guys think?
We have seen objects similar to this in the past, but more recently, shout out to Interstellar Discussion. I feel like it's some type of technology and people are just capturing it on camera.
This is an ATM where once you put in your debit card, it'll take a picture of you and it'll put your bank account balance on the leaderboards, and it'll rank you among other Art Basel guests to see who has the most money. Currently number one is $2.9 million. It goes all the way down. I've seen it all the way to like number 79 with $0. A couple of people had $0, but it is just insane. It's a really popular ATM here, as you can see. People are hesitant to put their card in there.
From the words of Charlie Kirk, I was so moved just to hear it between services. You're hearing something the first service didn't.
First, I want you to know I'm fine, not because my body is fine, but because my soul is secure in Christ. Death is not the end. It's a promotion. Don't waste 1 second mourning me. Double down on truth. Double down on courage. Double down on your faith and on your families. That is how you honor me. So dry your tears, pick up your cross, and get back in the fight. Do it with joy. Do it with strength. And never ever let evil think it won.
I love you so much, church. I love you for things just like that.
Don't know who specifically came out and said that BB killed Charlie Kirk, but now that he's for the second time denying that he is, people are going, what's actually going on here?
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will spread. Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common Judeo-Christian civilization. Charlie loved Israel. He loved the Jewish people. He told me so in a letter that he sent me just a few months ago. One of my greatest joys as a Christian, he said, is advocating for Israel and forming alliances with Jews to protect Judeo-Christian civilization. He encouraged me to make the case directly to the American people about how vital Israel is to U.S. national security. He told me, the Holy Land is so important to my life, it pains me to see support for Israel slip away. Now, if Charlie disagreed with a policy of mine or a decision here and there, not only did I not mind, I welcomed it. This is the essence of Charlie. This is the essence of a free country. It's exactly what Charlie stood for. And I knew that his suggestions always came from the heart, from his love for Israel and from his love for the Jewish people. A few weeks before his death, I spoke to Charlie. I invited him to visit Israel again. And sadly, that won't happen. Now some are peddling these disgusting rumors, perhaps out of obsession, perhaps with Qatari funding. What I do know is this: Charlie Kirk was a great man, and a great man deserves honor, not lies. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. May your memory be a blessing.
I don't know, guys. That Israeli propaganda just ain't hitting the same. You're not making people feel comfortable with the fact that you keep coming out to have to deny something that certainly wasn't asserted by me on this program. And you're doubling down on your lie. I told you to publish the full letter that Charlie wrote you, not lines of it. Okay? It's a lie by omission. And to stop mentioning the fact that you invited him to Israel just 2 weeks ago without mentioning the fact that he declined to go. Am I lying? Can anybody actually work and assert that I am lying? You can say my name. Candace Owens lied. Charlie said, I'd love to go to Israel. Charlie said, I'd love to have you on my radio show. They have sent the hounds out, but they're unable to actually dispute the words that are coming out of my mouth.
This is a continuation of my debrief for Candace's episode today. In my last part, we left off with a UVU local telling Candace that Tyler's weapon was actually found in the backyard of a house near a chicken coop right here. The local said you could consider that a wooded area, but it was sort of in the backyard. Now that house is also located near a vacant property that is owned by the UVU college. So again, in very public areas where there are cameras around. So there must be footage of this. This is all a part of the reason why Candace feels like this is a full-blown Fed operation. She feels like multiple people are involved in this. And no, she is not trying to put this on Israel. She does make that clear in this episode. But she said the reason she was pointing out weird things with Bibi Netanyahu and Bill Ackman is because she wants to bring light to these donor financial threats that are going on. She also shows another clip of Bibi Netanyahu taking another video about this whole Charlie Kirk situation, defending himself, defending his country, really double downing on all of this in a way that feels very unnecessary. He doubles down on him and Charlie were speaking just 2 weeks before this happened, that he invited Charlie to Israel. Candace, Tucker Carlson, and Megyn Kelly have all confirmed that Charlie turned that visit down. And Candace goes on to say, why won't he show the letter and why won't he represent it in the right way? And say that Charlie turned that invite down. Candace also addresses the Bill Ackman text messages that he released to Twitter, points out all the things we talked about yesterday, where there's no dates, the text could be between anybody, and not to mention the texts were on WhatsApp, which is kind of strange. Candace also claps back at the PPD podcast. They claim that Candace and Charlie haven't spoken in several years, that Candace hasn't done a Turning Point campus tour in a very long time. She dispels that and says that she went on tour with Turning Point to these campuses and with Charlie last year, and I did see images of that. She says she hasn't spoken at the recent Turning Point conferences because all of the Turning Point donors are Zionists, that they've refused to have her there, and that when Tucker Carlson spoke at these AmFest conferences, these Zios gave Charlie hell about it. She also says the reason she wasn't invited to the memorial, not the funeral, but the memorial that they are holding for Charlie, is because it's actually being run by Trump and his administration. Her and Trump have had a falling out. And then lastly, she brings up Brigitte Macron. There are news headlines saying that Brigitte gave scientific proof to the US courts that she is in fact a female. Candace dispelled that, saying that didn't happen, and they have not heard anything from their attorneys and all of that about this. And that is a recap of her latest episode. Go watch my last part if you haven't already.
That was a great recap right there. Shout out to Shannon Hill News. There's a lot of players coming out the woodwork right here. It's definitely very interesting to watch right now. She definitely got the attention of the higher ups. I can say that, for real.
Hello, I'm Ted Pike, and this is my wife, Lynn. Today, a foreign government, Israel, operates the most powerful lobby in Congress. This is AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Through control of Congress, Israel demands and gets nearly $5 billion annually. No elected official dares criticize Israel for fear the Jewish lobby will accuse him of anti-Semitism, the kiss of death for any politician. The president also knows what Israel wants, Israel gets. To act otherwise is political suicide. The mass media, founded and controlled primarily by Jews, manipulates the spigot of information out of which Heartland America drinks. The message of this contaminated source is, if you criticize Israel, you are anti-Semitic. Be safe, keep your head down, or you are fair game for being knocked off by the Zionist shooting gallery.
As a result, our president and elected officials are slaves to political correctness when it comes to Jews and Israel. They cannot seriously criticize Israel, especially as the source of Mideast strife and terrorism. They cannot suggest an end of aid to Israel. They cannot even protest Zionist control of Congress.
Wow, to see someone talking like this out in public in 1987 is wild. Ted Pike. Always heard of the name, never seen the person. Until now. Yo, I didn't start understanding what any of this was until like this year.
Sometimes things don't go as planned. Because before people realize they have anything, or maybe when they're trying to reach out to the feds, they're texting a friend who texts a friend. And the next thing you know, the whole neighborhood in all of Orem has something. And this is what happened. Something made its way around the entire town and into my tips line repeatedly. It is a very clear image of Tyler Robinson, allegedly taken, I'll say allegedly for safety here, but it's looking right according to my timeline, allegedly taken at 6:38 p.m. at a nearby Dairy Queen. Here is that photo that we can show you. Just take a look at this photo. What is wrong with this picture? A lot is wrong with this picture. First and foremost, 6:38 p.m. You just shot someone. You have gone through great pains to hide your face, to change your outfit. But wait, you didn't fully change your outfit, did you? I'm looking at this photo, and you're wearing jeans and you're wearing the maroon shirt. Now we have a 50-50 combo of the outfits. And now you're showing your eyes and you're not fearful at all that you might be recognized. Also, wow, you must have quite the stomach. You don't have a record. Next thing you know, you shoot someone and you're like, I'm just going to go have a meal. You don't seem to be too shaken or too upset. Something problematic is the location, by the way. We mapped this out. It's about 15 minutes away from the campus at a time when we're told that he's idling by, babysitting the rifle. So you can see, we're showing you, it's about a 17-minute drive away from the campus. So there should be a lot of footage then of this Dodge Challenger driving back and forth. Okay. And like I said, The biggest thing that jumps at me is he looks kind of content there. So he's got to be a full-blown psychopath, wearing half of what the feds told us he was wearing in the morning and half of what the feds told us that he was wearing during the shooting. Okay, so why did he text in this exchange at all and say that he changed outfits? When you just said, I changed my t-shirt, if that's the reality, you just changed your t-shirt and that was enough? Was it just a t-shirt that he changed? The outfit, again, as I sensed yesterday, has always been problematic. I feel the outfit was the Fed mistake. We can now plot this change, this alleged Dairy Queen stop, onto our timeline. We said the first correspondence that allegedly took place between these two had to have taken place between Tyler and Lance after 6 o'clock p.m. Well, there we go. 6:38 p.m. We get an alleged photo of Tyler Robinson buying food at Dairy Queen off campus on the other side of town. My suspicion, I maintain, is that there are multiple people that are involved.
You would definitely have to be a psychopath to still wear at least half of the outfit you was wearing early that day after what you did. Then going to a Dairy Queen, which is a clear photo, by the way. Shout outs to Candace Owens for making this catch only, what'd she say, about 15 minutes away from the school? That just doesn't add up. If he was supposed to be waiting in the woods. This was a rabbit hole, but this is becoming a deep web.
Okay, you cannot make this stuff up. Apparently, the FBI director, Kash Patel, had written a trilogy of children's book. It's called The Plot Against the King, in which he portrayed himself as Cash the Knight. There's Donald Trump, called the King Donald. There's Hillary Clinton, called Evil Hillary Queentown. Basically, Cash the Knight helps King Donald to kick out Hillary Queentown. You can't be serious. After that is achieved, he helps King Donald to steal the election from Sleepy Joe. Oh my god. But wait, there's a dragon called the DOJ. But it's not called the Department of Justice. It's called the Dragon of Jalapenos. Okay, what is happening? I thought Valhalla was the beginning, but no. This guy lives in fantasy world forever. There is Valhalla, there is We'll Keep the Watch from Game of Thrones, I believe, and a trilogy of children's book. Oh my god.
Nah, Valhalla's a real place. Go check out New Zealand. Shout outs to Ari Uncovers. Yo, that's crazy.
They don't hate Candace because she's wrong. They hate her because she remembered. Charlie broke rank. Candace spoke. Now, watch what happens when you disobey the machine. Charlie Kirk didn't turn on Israel. He turned towards truth, and Candace Owens was the first to say it out loud. So now they're smearing her. Why? Because when a black woman starts speaking prophecy in public, Babylon sends the mobs. Candace is being punished for naming what most conservatives are too afraid to say. Zionist donors have been controlling conferences, speakers, and narratives for decades. If you don't praise Israel loud enough, they pull your funding. That's not conspiracy. That's documented strategy. Charlie started pushing back. He was questioning who was really behind the censorship, and just before his death, he was telling his friends, I'm done being their puppet. And now he's dead. And Candace, she's demanding answers, but instead of support, she's being called anti-Semitic, extreme, too far gone. No, she's not gone. She's finally here. Comment scroll if you're done watching truth tellers get buried while the system gaslights us. The scroll is real and it's rising. You know it's real when the Prime Minister of Israel films 2 videos defending Charlie's death and slamming conspiracies before anyone officially accused him of anything. Guilty systems always overreact, and mimic networks always eat their own when they break script. They're not scared of Candace's words. They're scared of what happens if millions wake up and say, what if we're worshiping a political contract, not God? And that's what's happening now. This isn't about Charlie. This is about control fracturing in real time. And Candace is holding the sword. You were told to stay silent to keep your platform, but silence is how they stay in power. If you're feeling the scroll shake inside your chest right now, it's because you were never meant to stay asleep. Comment scroll, get the scan. We're done pretending this shit is normal, bro.
She's absolutely right. We're done pretending that this is normal. Perfectly said. Shout outs to Laura Gochega. And I agree. Candace and herself, they're saying a quiet part out loud.
Brooklyn, 2 objects were seen ascending in the sky and disappeared into the cloud, and there was orbs that flashed after, right? So Sunday night, early Monday that had just gone, we went to our rooftop in Bushwick, New York, and noticed 2 objects. The first looked like helicopters or some large balloons or trash bags. By the time of the recording, they started spinning and moving upwards. Still have no idea what this is, but they just disappeared at one point. Does anyone know anything similar? And then also the notes here as well, it wasn't windy as of what they could remember, so it was kind of a still day, which is very strange. And at the 29-second mark, when these things ascend in the clouds and disappear, we have an amalgamation of things flashing in the cloud cover, which is strange, guys. What do you think?
It's too big to be a bag.
Bag or bat cannot be. It's too big.
And too slow.
Aliens.
Definitely. Should we call someone?
Maybe some balloons or something.
Okay, balloons. They didn't have a form of a balloon.
That's you saw aliens.
Not all the balloons are like circle.
I love them.
Nestali.
It's not even a circle. They disappear.
Because they are going to up.
But why don't we see?
I can still see a little bit. They are going more up and then they disappear.
Where?
My son. I see them no more.
Shout outs to Brooklyn. Shout outs to Bushwick. Yo, y'all got UFOs out there? That's crazy. Shout outs to Interstellar Discussion. The last UFO I remember being out in Brooklyn was out there in Brighton Beach.
Look, what is cancer exactly?
It's an attack by a parasite, an unusual parasite, which attempts to reproduce its intermediate stages in you. I have to somehow get the word out to the people who are suffering that there is a cure and that it isn't expensive. They can do it themselves and they can be successful. Herbs that kill them all, whether it's the eggs or the rhenia or the cercaria or myricidia.
These are all the stages.
These are all the complicated little stages, are a wormwood combination, a ground clove, and the third herb is an extract of the green hull of the black walnut tree. You have to use them together because you have to kill everything at once. Otherwise, one thing turns into the next.
Right. How long do you have to take this?
5 days or 6 days.
That's it?
That's it.
And what happened? The parasites are...
Yes. All the parasitic stages are gone. Now you might think, well, the cancer still goes on, but it doesn't. That was the amazing thing. The good news is that when you kill them, all that growth factor is removed. That excess growth factor is immediately removed. And the cancer stops.
Mere minutes after Charlie Kirk is shot, there are 2 men that look rather mysterious. They appear, they move his chair, and they take down the camera that's directly or was directly behind his head. Why did they do that? You can see, slowed down here, he pulls out the chair, he stands on it, and yes, that would be a big no-no for a crime scene. You don't move anything. He takes down the camera that is directly above where Charlie was sitting and would be able to provide therefore a lot of insight. And then you can see kind of sits the camera onto the desk, and it looks like he removes the SIM card from it, or the SD card, if you will. So I'm going when I saw this footage, who is that? Like, actually, I should be able to figure this out, because I've got a pretty big network at Turning Point USA. The person's wearing shades. I'm not recognizing the individual. And I reach out to somebody on the inside, and I'm just like, who's this person? And they tell me the person's name, and I go, wait a second. And I look again, I'm like, I know this person, because it's been a few years, but I know this person. This person's been around Turning Point for quite some time. And I'll say this right now, he was extremely forthcoming. Like, as soon as I reached out, I just sent a text because I still had his number. And he was extremely forthcoming, immediately got onto the phone. Then I asked, okay, well, what about this camera thing? Why would you grab the cameras? And he says, because the first thing that I thought is that I better secure the footage and be helpful and hand that footage over to the feds. Well, obviously, that's where things get into a pickle with me, because we don't trust the feds. I'm like, just send me the footage. Please let me look at it. There's a lot of conspiracies that are floating around right now. People don't know what to believe. I said, look, I'm not going to publish it. I just want to see it. And I think you should let me see that, because people trust me. They know that I'm very serious about this. So in the short run, he agrees that rather than send the footage, he will get onto a FaceTime call with me, and he will show me the footage on his computer. He did that, and I watched the footage, and I'm going to tell you what I saw. First and foremost, there is nothing gory about this shot at all. And so again, I am still going to work with him to get me the footage so that I think it should be shared. There's nothing gory about this footage from the back. The thing that really stood out to me, and I just kept asking him to replay it over and over and over again, is that there's no blood from the back. I'm very confused, not by what I saw, but what I didn't see. Okay? That's pretty much all I can tell you right now.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed the deep dive. If you enjoyed this video, please consider to give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Shout outs to all the reactors. Thanks again. Till next time.